So the third game in the autumn test series is against Japan. Now we don't get to see Japan very often at Twickenham, so this is going to be a real treat. And I go back to 2015 World Cup, and Japan at the time, not many people knew, what they could bring. And one of the most famous games during that period was when Japan took on South Africa and beat South Africa, and all of a sudden, that just catapulted Japan, onto, the world stage, to take the scalp like that against a very good, tough South African team was amazing, was great for the game, and probably one of the key games that everybody remembers, from the 2015 World Cup. They had a team that was well drilled. They didn't have a lot of big players, but they had a lot of players who were well drilled. They just kept going and going and going. And what I remember from that game was, how they didn't just play a conservative game. Got penalties, they ran it, they played with confidence, they put pressure on South Africa, and as a result came up with that famous win. And it'll be great to see them and see what stage they're at during this Autumn Internationals. Again, a year from the World Cup, which is in Japan, so they've got a lot to prove. It's going to be an exciting time for them to play at Twickenham. I never had the opportunity to play against Japan, so I don't know exactly personally what it's like to play against them, but I know that they'll be targeting this game against England as one they want to do well in for their preparations to go into that World Cup. So one thing I guarantee is they will have so much energy. They'll cover every blade of grass. They'll look to take England on, especially with the last 12 months of England not being great. They didn't have a great Six Nations. They lost against South Africa on the tour. So Japan will want to put a marker down there and be a real test for them to see where they are on the world stage. But it's just been so good to see Japan, who at times have been a tier 2 team, all of a sudden to come onto the scene and do really well. And I think these are the games as well that people want to see. We're used to seeing New Zealand, South Africa, Australia, Argentina, but for everybody to get the opportunity to see Japan at Twickenham, I think is going to be a real treat. So I look forward to that game. I'm sure it's going to be a tough game. They won't let England have it all their own way, and they'll look to build that confidence going into to hosting what should be one of the biggest and best World Cups to date.